I wanted to ask, so I guess through those experiences and then you and Aubrey's relationship evolving, did you have to reestablish what intimacy was or to kind of, yeah, I guess reestablish or rediscover intimacy? Because I know for me, that was something that I didn't know was really missing. I often conflated that sexual energy as obviously being intimate, which it's
Mhm.
not. Like,
Mhm.
intimacy doesn't have to be sexual, and not all
Mhm.
sexuality is intimacy. So really, I mean, even as of now, like, so we recently had our second baby and, like, reconnecting after the
Congratulations.
Thank you. Reconnecting after that is really difficult and, like, reestablishing that intimacy, and we've been together for over a decade, and it's like you can still go deeper, like, there's always deeper that you can go with somebody. So,
Mhm.
what are some practices, if you're willing to share, that kind of keep that intimacy and that connection alive?
Between my husband and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually, like, in the world of our priorities, our highest priority in our relationship is to be in eros with each other. And so that's like literally being in eros is like being on the inside of each other's experience. And so intimacy can take many different forms. Like if it like his Aubrey's love language. He's not a gifts person or words of affirmation, but it is so meaningful to him for like to receive acts of service where I can actually anticipate something that he might need and provide that for him before he knows that he needs it. It like literally lights him up and he'll turn into like a puppy dog and just follow me around all over the place. Like that's a form of intimacy is really taking the time to see through your partner's eyes and speaking to them from their own love language. Like for me, like I am all about physical affection. Like that's
Me
my
too.
absolute number one. Like I need it 24/7. I smother the shit out of him all the time, but like if I'm washing the dishes and he comes up behind me and just holds me and just holds me and kisses me on the neck, like even for a second, it literally changes my entire day. It's like those tiny things where they're seeing into you and what would make you feel so alive and in love. And just, making that a priority. So that's like a simple non sexual way that you can be in intimacy. It from a sexual lens, and it's different because I'm not a mother yet, so I can't even possibly imagine what it is like to be a designated caring like powerhouse of a feminine expression of mother. Like I don't know that yet. I'm excited in the next year or so we're gonna start trying to start our
Oh,
family. But
congratulations.
thank you.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
eventually we'll get there. Right now, we have these crazy cats who love disrupting and taking all the attention from everything. Another practice that we use in our relationship is like we make our sexual intimacy a priority. Like the same way I would schedule this podcast or he would take a meeting about a really, important business thing, like we schedule out and block out time for us to have date nights. Like preferably on the weekly. Sometimes our life gets so busy that it's really difficult to maintain that. But like we can feel once we have like let that priority, kind of take a back seat, and both of us feel like a little bit of like it's easy to get in a rhythm of just operating day to day. Like I'm so busy all day long and then I'm tired and then I don't really feel like it. But it's like, no, like we refuse to allow our intimacy and our sexual like erotic energy to die and
Mhm.
not to be made priority because it's felt it's really easy to get in rhythms and patterns, particularly when you've been together for a long time. We haven't been together for a decade, but we've been together for 3 years and we're very used to each other. So would it be easy to just be comfortable and like not make that a priority? For sure, and we'd still be happy, but we would be missing out on like the deeper layers of expansion and touching God that we get to do when we are intimate. And sometimes, so like our date nights, we create some sense of novelty when we go into a date night. Like I will get new lingerie and maybe I'll come up with this scene that is creating, something that we haven't fully experienced before. Maybe it's something that's like, his kink or his like things that I know just like really do it for him. Or and maybe sometimes it's more focused on me and kind of like doing that dance between the two, but making it a priority, like it's taking your kids go to school, like it's like it's a non-negotiable, and we treat it as that. And it's been really helpful for us because he's a man with a very insatiable desire. And I think for me, up until being in this Mama Gina course where I'm like so activated in my own pleasure and desire like every single day, from like all these different rituals and practices of dance and meeting our own like rage and grief within us, all these things that are just like keeping me really alive in my body. I feel like my desire is more insatiable recently, but prior to being so in touch with my pleasure and my pussy, I felt like it was easy for me to just kind of get out of the rhythm of like, okay, well, he has a lot of desire, so like we're gonna make our sexual chemistry like a priority. But now it's actually me meeting him in those desires where I actually am claiming for myself, like, this is my fantasy right now. And, offering that and allowing that to be how we go about our next date night. But ultimately, yeah, just making it a priority.